What is up? How is everybody doing? Yeah. Oh man, I'm sure a lot of you people have been glued to your TVs and your browsers and checking out the local politics and where we're at because well, it's kind of up in the air right now. And of course, as I was mentioning last night, there's going to be a lot of recounts. There's going to be a lot of lawsuits. There's going to be a lot of things, especially if you browse the internet now, especially on Facebook. You're going to find a lot of posts about, well, these polls that are just missing. They found USPS boxes with votes in it. Oh my God, they found them in the garbage. Now, here's the deal. As much as they may find, right, what we have to ask ourselves the question, is there really like 40,000 of those that they found? Or is it only like 1,000? If it is only like 1,000, well, we're seeing a lot of people that are dead that are also voting, which is, excuse me, but has always been a problem. Always. It doesn't matter how far back you go, there's always somebody deceased that's always voting. How they manage to vote while they're dead? Well, it's from the casket. I don't know. But how's everybody doing this lovely afternoon? 12 o'clock. I know it's a little bit different. We're not on Twitch, but there's a lot of reasons behind that because this is really political derived and it's easier to watch in the future. Of course, you can't really do donations. I mean, you can, but that's not really the main goal of putting over to this. That doesn't mean I'm not going to do Twitch anymore, but for these specific type of conversations, I really want to focus fire and keep them on YouTube. Hello, Eddie. Hello, Dan. Nick, what's going on, brother? Yeah, lots of mail from the UPS. Well, not so much UPS, but USPS. I don't know if UPS is actually delivering ballots. Bree's got a lot of things she wants to say. I see her shaking her feet. What's up, Chiwi? James Taylor, what's going on, man?
I wanted to tell you, today, a couple days ago, there was a man who voted for the very first time, and he is only 170 years old.
Is that William Bailey?
I think so.
Or Billiam Bailey? Or something like that?
170. How precious.
He managed to make it there in a wheelchair that had the casket in it. Somehow he managed to vote it up. Yeah, okay, so let's talk about this, right? I don't know about anybody else, how much you've really been following the politics or how much you've been following it. But before we get into it, I want to show you this little sweet number because this is obviously updated and this is where we're at. Okay, so there's been a lot of different media platforms. You'll see governors. Before we get into it, let me just show you. So right now, what we're looking at is the map of where this is currently current as of right now. So you see Pennsylvania, they've got 88% in with a missing of 12%, 50.3. Trump's still leading. North Carolina, 94%. I have no idea what it's taken these states so long to finalize these numbers. I mean, especially when you look at Georgia. Georgia has been sitting at the 95 to 99% literally since yesterday. Like during the day yesterday. It's not moving. But what you will notice is that gap is that's a tight one. It's a 13,000 vote gap. And Nevada, the thing is with Nevada, wow, that's actually updated a little bit. But again, yep. So last night, and then there's Arizona. So you'll read some things. Michigan is a way bigger spread now. And Wisconsin or Michigan, the two of those, 20,000 point spread. So, for those of you that actually missed my stream last night, I spoke about this, about how essentially Biden's going to win. And of course, I don't want to say I got a lot of shit, because I think people took time to listen to what I was saying. I wasn't necessarily saying I like Biden. I wasn't necessarily saying that I did say that I like Trump. And I do prefer Trump over Biden. But I read something about the governor of Arizona, how there's a lot of votes that are uncounted and that it's not confirmed. Real quick, let me just go back to this map. Let me show you something. So when you look at the states, right, you see a little number. I can't really highlight it, but if you look at the bottom right of that pop-up, depending on how big the TV is or screen you're looking at right now. It says reporting 88% in. So that means that there's 12% that's still unreported. Now, especially when you're looking at those total numbers, the other 12% could be for Trump. No, nobody knows that. Like nobody, obviously. Well, I'm sure somebody somewhere knows, but how much that's going to play towards Trump? I don't know. I don't know. But I will tell you this: there's a lot of upset people right now, which kind of look like how Hillary Clinton supporters look like when she lost. But keep in mind that Trump hasn't necessarily lost yet. He's just losing. He doesn't handle losses well. He usually gets his way. Let's keep that in mind. Remember, that's him on the roof. It's fine. You're forgetting. He's on the roof. What's wrong? Oh. Well, Jazzy, I don't know if you missed the chat yesterday, but you have to understand that first off, it's not going to happen. You know, they tried in the 1800s, they tried in the 1900s. For the voter system to ever change to a popular vote, I think it takes more than just the president saying, "Hey, let's do it like that." You know, it takes an act of Congress, which is why in the 70s, I think it was the 70s or the 60s, it didn't go through. What do you got?
Colorado.
Yeah, just passed. I mentioned that yesterday.
Yeah, but did you mention the implications?
Yeah, that they're going to take the popular vote of the whole state and then give that all to electoral votes. I mentioned that yesterday. Proposition 113. Right? That's what you're talking about? Yeah, Proposition 113. Again, just a little rehash. Basically, what that is Colorado is implementing something. So I don't want to say similar to what Maine and Nebraska has, but basically what it is the popular vote. They're just going to give all the electoral votes. Like I guess they're going to take the popular vote of the whole country, and then from there give all their electoral votes for that. That's not fair, Kevin. That's not fair. So to say that only Republicans have won because of the popular vote, or because of the Electoral College, you're referencing George Bush and Donald Trump. But there have been plenty of Republicans that have won without plenty. I'd say more than 80% have won without the Electoral College. Like have won popular vote as well. So that's not necessarily true. Granted, that is true for Donald Trump, though. Donald Trump would not be president if it wasn't for the popular vote. I'm sorry, not the popular vote, the Electoral College. Yeah, essentially Maine and Nebraska, but they split up votes too. If you look at Maine and you look at Nebraska, Nebraska's got one blue, two red, and then Maine has got one red, one blue. I don't know, Roger. That's where Bree's at. Bree feels the same way that Trump is going to pull through this no matter what. And as much as I'd love to stand by her side and believe, I don't know what to believe at this point anymore. I'm trying not to watch any channels that are very, very heavily right-sided or very heavily left-sided because each of those are going to pick and choose. I'm trying to stay somewhere in the center, but to find somebody that has my perspective about not really playing a side, it's rare. It's rare. Lou Pincho, if Lou Pincho asked, well, let me actually pin that. Hold on a second. Let me make this real easy for you guys so you know what I'm talking about. What happens if both candidates don't reach the certain number? Who is going to win? Okay, so first off, that's not going to happen. But if it did, if neither of them hit 270, then basically the 12th Amendment comes into play. And really what it boils down to is Nancy Pelosi picking who would be the president. That's what would happen. Whether or not that's going to happen is very, very much unlikely. It's extremely unlikely. So I was literally staring at it all night long, and even when I was last night when I was live, Bree kept messing. She's like, it's down 0.5% or 0.2%. It's just it seems to be going down on Trump's accord in every other state. I don't see Trump's numbers going up, and I really feel like that's the mail-in ballots that are coming in. That a lot of people voted for Biden that way. We're gonna have to probably wait till sometime Friday to figure out who exactly won. And then even then, I think if Biden wins, I don't think it's going to be as simple as just accepting it, because there's lawsuits that are happening as well. What are you doing, Bray?
Nothing. I'm watching chat.
Oh.
The lawsuit in Pennsylvania has already been granted. The issue is that they cannot continue voting until they all meet. So voting probably won't be counted anymore in PA until tomorrow. Because they have to recount all of those ballots that were not seen by a poll watcher.
So basically, a poll watcher would be a person that the Republican Party or Democratic Party go in and watch them count the votes.
Yeah, think of it as like an overeager supervisor.
Okay.
Someone who is just micromanaging, watching you. So normally, a poll watcher, you would be here, and I would be here, and I would be watching your table, or I would be behind you.
Okay.
But because of coronavirus, they are granted a 6 feet distance.
Right.
Most people's eyesight is not good enough to read legibly 6 feet away.
Right.
So that's another issue as well.
So, but the poll watchers are not being allowed in.
No. Once they started counting the mail-in ballots in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, they were told to leave. And they were not allowed to be present for over 130,000 votes that were cast. And all of those appear to be Biden somehow.
Okay, but so you think you're going to play the opposing side and say that a lot of those are for Trump, they're just not counted.
Or a lot of them are fake. Why can't we
That
see
is possible.
them?
That's a possibility. I don't think we should necessarily put in the equation that all of them are going to be for Donald Trump. I don't think that's realistic. But see, my problem is with the dead people that are voting. I find a huge problem in that. I don't think that should even be a... I don't even know how that's happening, and nobody stops that. Like if you're looking... You look at someone's birth date and it was 1902 and it's 2020, there's no way that person is alive. So how are we allowing that vote to go through? You understand?
Yes, I have no idea. In New Jersey alone, people got multiple votes sent to their house, like multiple ballots, for their dead mother, their dead father, an aunt who doesn't even live in the state anymore.
Absolutely. But see, a lot of the places, like you're saying, like we'll just use New Jersey as a reference since you brought it up. The thing is with New Jersey is it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
You know what I mean? Like we're not going to vote red, no matter what. It doesn't matter how many people get that. It's not going to appear by red. And even if all those people voted for blue or Biden, it doesn't matter because that's where popular vote gets thrown away. You understand? So all these extra votes, let's just say New Jersey voted whatever, 10 million votes. Doesn't really matter. And that's where electoral college is a good thing, because popular vote does not matter.
It's just for us to see.
Right.
Tabulate.
Right. Exactly. It's just to say, it shouldn't even be a thing where people are looking at the number and saying, oh, well, Biden's got 4 million more popular votes. Who gives a shit? Like what that number does not matter.
He's popular in Cali.
Right. Okay. Great. Yeah, great. Because Cali's got what, 33 million or some odd number amount of people. So yeah, okay. If all of them voted, great. You got 33 million votes. Congratulations. To say that, when Biden came out yesterday, it was like, oh, well, I got, more votes than any other president before. And We got the most amount of. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. It's like me coming on saying, I'm closing my shirt, green and black. I'm wearing a green and black shirt today. Okay, what? Great. You pointed out. You have a mouth and you're speaking.
I'm like, this just in: Biden is gonna come and talk. He's gonna tell us that there is an election
And
and
he
that he is in it.
That is from Crowder. That was pretty funny. This is pretty funny.
Because I thought it was serious.
Yeah, there's a lot of ballots, man. A lot of ballots that are in question. I can't even see with the recount how that's going to help. What I can see is if they do find these ballots, and it really makes me wonder the legitimacy of these lost ballots. Like I saw a picture. Let me see if I can pull it up. I saw a picture on Facebook of. I hope I did not save it. I saw a picture on Facebook of a place in Glendale, Arizona. I'm sure you can pull it up. Glendale, Arizona, of a guy driving down the road, and I guess he saw these. We'll call them, I don't know, USPS pickup buckets. And they were all ballots. They didn't necessarily say that they were all for Trump, but they were just ballots on the side of the road. What is the legitimacy of that? Why are they left on the side of the road? Like, someone's clearly going to see that.
Are we talking about buckets or are we talking about just...
Let me see what it's buckets. It's like the buckets that we have filled.
I know what photo you're talking about because I saw that this morning as well. I think I saved it on Twitter.
Yeah, I got him. I'm going to just block him right now. I'll just make it real simple. There we go. He's gone. For those of you who don't know, that pigeon guy is a guy that told me I have no idea that I was Christian because I like Pence over Harris. No, let me see here. Biden will squash 25% on Scottish whiskey imports to USA. Wow, that's a weird comment. That Donald Trump created. 10,000, we'll say thousands of jobs lost here. Biden said he will move that. F Trump, a scumbag, Scottish his parents. Okay, so you're saying, Philip, I'm assuming you're from Scotland, number one. Number two, you're saying that when Biden comes in, if he gets elected president, you're going to lose jobs. Well, there's going to be a lot of jobs that are lost if Biden becomes president. You have to understand that his whole Green New Deal of all these electricity and granted that will employ people, but the people that are working in these oil plants or fossil fuel type of uh, job, if you will, those jobs are going to be gone. They're going to be gone. And that's a lot of jobs. I can't remember if it's 1.2 or 112,000. Yeah, there's going to be for those of you out there that are saying that this is a Trump thing, as people are complaining about votes, you have to understand that this has always happened. This happened with Hillary and Donald Trump. This happened with Barack Obama. Like this voting situation that you see is not a new thing. Like this isn't a something that's just popping up on the whim because Trump fans or Republicans don't like the turnout. This has always happened. It's not just because of this. So you could just stop that right now. It's just that people are making it more relevant now. Oh, you're saying Biden will create jobs in Scotland? I apologize. I read that wrong. Well, uh, I don't. I'm not going to lie to you there, Philip. I don't know much about Scotland or these tariffs you speak about from Donald Trump. I'd have to do some research on that. But I think it's more important for, no offense to Scotland, but I think it's more important for us as to which president we choose, not other countries. Like, I'm not worried about how Scotland's whatever it is you have prime minister, how it will affect the business with the United States. I'd be more concerned with how much that's going to affect Scotland as a whole, even though I'm not a resident of Scotland. So that I feel like that's a very small thing. But I could see your argument that you care about that. One could argue is why doesn't your prime minister create these 10,000 jobs and not relying on another president or a different country to help your country out? Instead of being a state that relies or a country that relies on other people or other places, maybe you should worry about your own infrastructure. I mean, if that's the case, I could bring someone on here from Australia that owns several businesses in Australia and love what Trump has done for Australia. But that that's another debate in itself. What it does for other countries, and there's a reason why when they do votes for presidents, they don't go to other countries and try to figure out. Like Trump posted this thing about them doing some type of rally or march in Nigeria. Okay, I don't know how that affects anything, but cool. Well, Lou, the pros and cons of Biden are I'm not gonna lie to you, brother. I really don't have any pros. I really don't because I don't like his Green New Deal. I don't like his tax policy. I don't like I don't like that he can't finish a sentence. I don't like okay, let me go into policies. Let me not judge the man, let me judge the policies. The Green New Deal I don't like. The tax policy is rough. I mean it's rough. Pros. Um what you got?
If Biden becomes president?
Yeah, a pro. A
This
pro.
is a very bad pro, but at least all the riots will stop. Because they keep setting fires, things, breaking stuff, stealing things.
See, that's on the man, not a policy, but that's a good point.
Like,
Um,
that's the only positive.
hold on one second, guys.
Okay. Okay. That's the only pro that I have, though. So personally, I really like the sites that give me the information that I want, not the information that I don't want to hear. So I listen to them all the time, and I just get riddled with all these little tidbits of information. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but there's a video of a guy sitting counting ballots, proceeds to yell at the ballots in front of them, picks it up, gives it the middle finger, crumples it, and throws it away, and does not put it in the count pile, which is crazy. And have you seen the little red wagon? They were bringing in ballots in a little red wagon. Tell me where that seems normal.
Or the cooler situation that she's talking about. I feel like we should have different cameras, and I just kind of hit a button and it goes to her. Or the cooler situation, how they brought a bunch of ballots in with coolers and there was no security. I've seen all that footage. I have. I just don't know if it's that much of a difference as far as numbers are concerned. But going back to the pros and cons, man, I can't think of one pro with Biden. Bree brings a solid point about the riots.
Oh, so you want some facts, Jay?
Yes.
Okay. In Wisconsin, between 3:30 and 4:30 a.m., 140,000 mail-in ballots were found for Biden. That's in Wisconsin. In another state, Michigan, between 3:30 and 5 a.m., they found 200,000 mail-in ballots, all only for Biden in Michigan. The same exact time frame in PA, between 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., they found 1 million ballots in Pennsylvania.
Okay, now when you're saying those times, are you saying today or on the 4th?
I think on the 4th.
Okay.
This is the time where all the states said they weren't counting anymore and they weren't getting anything else in. This is the time where all of those bags and stuff started appearing at polling stations.
Got it.
So that's why it ties into that, is because that's when all that stuff was happening. And apparently, allegedly, all of these mail-in votes that were suspiciously found are only for Biden. Not one is for Joe Jorgensen or any other person or Trump. All of them are only for Biden, which is statistically improbable.
Yeah, it's impossible too. To all that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. There should only be professional people that count polls. I don't think anybody's going to take that away from you, Philip. I believe in that as well. That's not going to happen. It's just not a possibility. As much as we may want that, the likelihood, yeah.
Someone brought up a good point. They said, what about all the COVID deaths from this past year? Their families are getting their ballots for them. And if there's 200,000 plus people.
Okay, so what we have to do at that point is, okay, so using that argument, again, we go back into, let's play both sides of this. 200,000 people died from coronavirus, right?
Right.
Those are typically, we'll say Northeast, right? But Northeast, which is already a blue state, and it's not a popular vote. Now, I do feel like if I don't know if they check the validity of dead people votes.
They don't.
Like, they might find one or two of them, but how many is there that are counted? And at the same time, how many of that is going to take away towards Trump? Let's also factor that in, is there may be some votes out there from dead people that are for Donald Trump.
And a con with the mail-in system is that, for example, in New Jersey, when we vote, we have to present our ID. We have our signature on our ballot has to match the signature on your identification.
Right.
With mail-in, it's just signed and sent. So they have to go through every person's name in a database and see if their poller registration signature matches that. I find that impossible.
Well, that's a solid point, because unless, of course, the DMV keeps that signature on there, well, that's a valid question. I don't feel like they would check that. The mail-in ballot signature?
Right.
But I think it would also invalidate a lot of Donald Trump's votes as well. I don't think it would just go towards Biden.
Yeah, that's an issue too. And I think it's California. When you go vote, you don't even have to present your ID. I just have to say, I'm Jay Hayes. I want to vote. They're like, cool, here's a ballot. Have fun. And then I hand it to them and they count it.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a thing.
And for vote challenges, so if there's a challenge on one of the ballots, it's supposed to go into a designated area where each one of those ballots are gone through, made sure that that person exists, signature
Checked by a
matches,
judge.
all that stuff.
Right.
Instead of them being separated and kept separated, they are tabulating those votes into the mass numbers in Michigan. And that's not supposed to happen.
Right, but if you look at Michigan's numbers, right, we're talking about, you go to Michigan's number and he's winning by, what is that, 130,000, 150,000. Do we really think 150,000 votes are fake?
Absolutely. I would not put it past them. You know, they know that they lost last time around, so this time they put in fail safes in states that were going to swing blue last year that they decided they wanted it to be this year. Why are certain states taking so long to count? Florida finished their counting and they had, what, 10 million people in that state? Pennsylvania only has like 6 million votes to count, and they're still only 85%. Same thing with Georgia.
Georgia's taking their sweet ass time. Georgia, it's crazy because when you watch, the map, when you look at the map of the votes, you can see that every state around Georgia has finished, except for Georgia.
With more population.
And that number, this number right here, just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller for Donald Trump. I mean, we're talking. Yeah, that's a lot of red there, but it's not. The problem is it's the population of each of those counties. The ones that are red, I don't. Man, that's close. That's 14. That's a 14,000 spread. Look up voter suppression, fake robocalls in Michigan, other states too. Voter suppression. Are you talking about the ones where it was like a telemarketer calling in? They said it was people from Trump's party doing it, and then people from the Democratic Party or the people from the Republican Party said it was the Democrats doing it. Is that what you're talking about? Voter suppression? Let's see. Let me take a look. Voter suppression calls.
And I don't think it's too far out to think that the election could possibly be in jeopardy of fraudulent activity because not everything is being monitored like it should be. Did you see that they were putting up like those big boards in front of the windows so no one can see inside? They're not letting poll watchers see. They're not validating all these votes. Like there's a lot of areas that are in question because they're not monitored correctly. Like regardless of what side that state will swing, these things should be watched.
Watched by whom?
Either the poll watchers, a live feed, a second person confirming that that person's count is correct.
Well, you have to be careful with the live feed, or so you have a privacy concern here, right? So first off, these ones that go through the machine. You're telling me a poll watcher sits in front of the machine as it goes through the machine? No, we're talking about you're talking about the ones that are checked by an individual.
Well, don't they check all the votes before they put them into the machine to make sure none of those are challenged ballots? Because if it's challenged, it should not go into the machine. Because
challenge meaning how? Challenge meaning how?
Well, someone says and then they put that in a separate box, and then they look into the person.
Okay, the way that I look at these machines, whether they work, is you fill out a piece of paper, say what you want, it's checkmark. They put it into a machine a certain way,
and it goes.
Right. It doesn't matter which party you select. It just kind of counts what they are. Unless, of course, I don't know what a voting machine looks like, but I've never really seen on the inside of how they actually work. But the crazy part is every state has a different way of counting these polls, has a different way of counting the numbers.
Yes, and every state also has a different amount that they would recount for. Every state has an individual number, an individual happenstance.
Okay, it's only absentee that are hand counted. Got it.
And each state also has varying degrees of penalties for voter fraud. In some states, you get 100 days of community service. The hardest state was like a really big fine. Like, there's nothing serious to deter people from doing fraud.
Well, when you're saying voter fraud, are you referencing the person that's voting or the person that's counting the vote?
Person that's voting. So, like, I submit 80
Got
votes for the candidate of
Got
my
what
choice.
you're saying. Well, there is a crime. I mean, there is a crime.
Yes, but
there.
it's not, like, serious. Like, if I hit someone with... Oh, that's dumb. If I robbed 7-Eleven,
a little bit different.
Like,
a little bit of
no,
a different.
like, I stole candy. Like,
Okay.
I would get the same kind of sentence that you would for trying to rig an election.
Well, one is a white-collar crime, one is a blue-collar crime, right? So there's definitely penalties for voter fraud. There are. Whether they're strict enough, how you get caught doing it,
that's also difficult as well.
Right, of course. It's going to be difficult, especially when you have dead people that are submitting. Who submitted that?
Yes, and if I count... So I found you. You cheated. I found out that you were cheating ballots. How am I supposed to find those ballots that you already submitted? There's no chance. I could stop you.
That's what I'm saying.
More,
I don't think that
I can't help it.
That's what I'm saying. I think that when they do these recounts, they don't actually validate. It would be a lot of work, but what would be the best way to do it is a team of whatever, 100 people or 200 people from each respective party goes through the votes and says, okay, checks every person. Call this person. Find out, did they vote this? Okay, that's one. Yeah, that's going to take a long time, but how do you want to check these votes? I feel like that would be the most accurate way of doing it.
That sounds fair.
I'm not being a conspiracy person, but this fucking stinks of corruption.
Theoretically, no matter what side you are on, you would think that everything should be fair. You know, because if your side loses or whatever, who cares? It's just you want to know that what is happening is truthful.
Absolutely. Let that the system is absolutely working for what it is.
That's what
I totally concur. You know, Spade, I don't think that that's too far-fetched to say vote with a fingerprint. I really don't. I don't think that will ever happen maybe in 200 years, but Face ID with a voter. And the only way that you vote, I know you're going to use, people are going to use the argument that, and this is usually Democrats use the argument, is that voting has been going on through the mail since the Civil War. Okay, great, whatever. But you can even do it digitally, but you have to do it where you present yourself to a station, to a website where you can essentially lock that vote in to this fingerprint or this face, and then we know that that vote is secure.
Oh, yeah, if you don't have a phone that can do a fingerprint scan or a face scan, then you just go to a station.
Right.
That's smart.
That's it. Then voter fraud goes out the window.
Because every phone nowadays has some type of facial rec for passwords or password protecting your finger.
All the votes need to be recounted to give the election any validity. The Democrats have done this to themselves. Now they can't say we beat Trump, as the people know it's been tampered with.
True, because it's not one happenstance that's been reported or that's been pictures of. It's a lot from a lot of different states.
DNA would work better, Ben, but I don't know about someone taking a swab while they're voting. Like,
by the way, we made a clone.
Well, the good side of that is, and some people may not like this because this might be an overreach, but the good thing about the DNA is now your DNA profile is in a system somewhere. So, you know, if there's a crime or something and they'll say this DNA doesn't match anybody, well, this person voted in 2012. That's who that DNA belongs to.
This is his semen.
Right. That's right. This is his jizz. So I'm just saying that goes even further than that. I don't have a problem with it, but I do see a lot of people having issues with that.
Same thing for like the fingerprint thing, because you know, like when you got fingerprinted in school,
Uh-huh.
like part of like the DARE program,
Sure.
like it was a thing.
Sure, yeah.
I think that's so they get your fingerprint early, you know. But your parent had to sign off on that because it's your fingerprint.
I don't remember doing the fingerprints
Oh, we
for the
did.
DARE for the DARE program.
I think they figured out that they could get us young, so that way when they commit crimes later in life, they're like, "We got you from DARE." Like,
right, we scanned that fingerprint. Yeah.
Yeah, so that could be an issue because then your name is tied to your fingerprint, which is also tied to the crimes that you did in 1992, where you murdered that hobo. Like,
right.
You know?
Right. No, I agree. But at this
it's disproportionate.
But I really do think, first off, the mail-in ballots are 100% the culprit of this whole situation. Whether you are Democrat or you are Republican, this is throwing a huge wrench in the situation. Like a huge wrench. And I don't know how you fix that. Well, you can't. For future, maybe do it digitally through an app. Right? Like I'm sure the government could set this up where you go to a website, you plug your information in, you know, it takes a picture of your face and then you vote. Simple, man. Simple stuff. Simple stuff.
Have you guys seen that video coverage of the Trump riot outside of the polling center? Jay, these people are just
Are you talking about Arizona?
Chilling. Yeah,
they're
the
just ones in
standing,
Arizona. I saw.
They're kneeling, praying. They're not yelling. They're not chanting. They're not breaking anything. That's not a riot. A riot is BLM protesters tearing down statues and setting fires to houses.
Sure, I agree. It's ironic. Yeah, I know what she's talking about. In Arizona, let me see if I can pull up this video. Can you get me the video?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a video of them in Arizona, and they're saying that it's a riot, and they're going crazy, and it's people just hanging out. It's people just chilling. That's not a riot, man. I don't know what you're talking about, but we have different definitions of a riot.
Oh, I have the screenshot.
I don't know. The problem is, John, I don't know if there is a way to fix what we have right now aside from what's happening. Trump just lost another 4,000 in Georgia.
It makes me giggle.
Is this the one where they say is a riot?
Yep.
Okay. Hold on, guys. Let me share this.
Heidi, you have some news on the ground there at that counting facility. What is actually happening behind you?
Yeah, Eamon, behind me is Detroit's TCF Center. This is where poll watchers are racing to try and count all the votes outstanding here in Wayne County. But what we see here is essentially an increasing mob-like scene of self-proclaimed poll watchers who say that they want to get access to the building. So many of them have rushed into the building here that I'm actually talking to.
Let me just pause this for a second. A mob-like? So if you were to go to the mall on Christmas and go through the mall and see this many people, is that a mob or is it just a bunch of people?
Official Democratic poll watchers from the Democratic Party who've been shut outside of the balloting room, which they're supposed to have access to. Eamon, it's gotten to the point where we do have a police presence here that is blocking access to the building because not only have they swarmed the room, but they are now over in terms of COVID restrictions. I'm here with Reverend Stephen Bland, and he is a chaplain for some of the poll watchers inside. He's been corresponding with many of the individuals who are trying to get the job done today to get all these ballots counted. Reverend Bland, can you tell us what is going on in there and what is at stake here?
We are in the process of wanting to get all the votes counted. the road to victory of any side is going to come through Michigan and through Detroit. And to stop the vote suggests to stop the very democracy that we are running and these persons are running to elect to uphold. And so we want every vote to count because our vote is our voice, and it will be counted. And the election process will be done. Things are secure on the inside, but of course we have intimidating efforts on the outside, but we're not deterred. As goes Detroit, will go Michigan, and Michigan will join. They've been saying all along is going to suggest that it's flawed or fake, but they've been saying that before now. We just need to be persistent to make sure our voice gets counted, because as goes...
You have to really love the idea of what they say here. Self-proclaimed poll watchers. Well, I think it goes into detail as to when they're saying a poll watcher, is that an official title or is that just something that anybody can name themselves? I don't know if that is an actual official thing. What is this video you sent me?
Which one? The first one?
The
Watch this dude.
looks like Joe Biden in the background. I think that's what people were talking about. This Flecker guy that did a video about
One of the videos that I took a screenshot of this morning to find it again, her account is gone. Twitter took it away. The video, though, has been reposted, but her original account is gone. The second video is about the USPS guy coming forward, talking about how they're stamping ballots. Which is actually a hard to find story.
oh, I can't post this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't post that. Yeah, I can't post that. This video will get flagged. Yeah, there's a lot of videos that I can't necessarily share on YouTube just because my account will get flagged.
Oh, you have to put a disclaimer. Say that everything in this video.
Yeah, I have to say that at the beginning.
Oh, we'll plug it. Can we plug it in text over top the screen?
Not while it's live. Had to be when I started.
Should have thought about that.
Yeah. As I said, Trump has been saying absentee is fraud for the last several months. He didn't say a word about that when he won, though. I think it would be, for a lot of people that like Biden, they're going to look at it like a bittersweet victory when and if Trump loses. You know, they're not going to look at it like, okay, now we have these policies to address. It's more so shutting down someone in power. It's equivalent to a troll online harassing somebody. I hate using the word cyberbully, but I'm going to use it. Cyberbullying somebody to make them stop making videos and they never making a video again, so they feel like they won. And that's essentially what's going to happen. That bug under the V in Vape Life, is that inside or outside?
Outside.
You sure? You see what I see?
Do you see what I see? It's another cricket.
Oh.
Oh no, it's a giant stink bug. Wow, that's a big old stinky.
That's it. We're gonna have to take it from the vote, and people can't complain that Trump is claiming. You know, it's crazy because I saw something on Twitter about, was it Trump's campaign manager where he was claiming victory inside of Arizona? I don't know the map that he's looking at, man. I really don't, because there is a lot of. Hold on a second, guys. Click the. Hold on one second. Just getting past all their little pop-up jammies.
Yes. So, New York Times just reported that Trump sent out a tweet with typos on purpose to activate his operatives. That is far-fetched.
Yo, Jay, tell your mods to chill the fuck out, man. Don't have a political-based broadcast if you can't handle opinions from the other side. What did they ban that you said?
Did you use all caps? Because you're typing now. So maybe you got a timeout?
I don't see any kind of ban that was implemented on you or even a deleted message. Where's the discrepancy? And obviously they're not shutting anybody down for their political view. There's people talking about get rid of Trump and elect Biden. You must have said something stupid to get shut off. Because I don't see any deleted messages. Any. I was put on a timeout when? What did you say? Retype it.
It's probably because you used all caps.
Oh, it was probably all caps. If you did all caps, yeah, it's going to be blocked. Because it's absolutely obnoxious. You don't have to make a point by doing all capital letters. Hold on a second. What's up, JJ?
Okay. The secret message typo is insanity.
The what?
They're saying that in Trump's tweet, he used hashtag Biden crime family. He accidentally added an extra I in the word family. And they're just coming up with this huge conspiracy about how that extra I is meant to activate their operatives.
Shut up.
I am so serious. This is New York Times. Look.
Hold on.
It's so dumb. It's not code. It's a typo. One typo.
Is Biden still winning? Yes, he is. I still don't see what this guy posted. I still don't see it. So I have no idea what he is referencing. No idea at all. Yeah, what it's really going to come down to is Nevada. If Trump does win, let me pull this back up over here on the left. Pull this back up. Stand by 1 second. So there you go. So looking at the map right now, obviously a lot of these are going to be contested, right? Michigan or Michigan, the two of these up top. But if Trump does win this one, and this one, and Nevada, he'll win. If, considering he needs 6 points, if he wins Nevada, it's over. And looking at the numbers, 76 of 24% not reported, it is possible that Trump wins this. Whether or not they flip Arizona, so if we go back over here, if let's just say Trump wins these and they flip this Arizona to Trump and then Biden wins Nevada, then then either way, Biden will not win. So it's really going to be dictated on this state and these three. But the way it's looking right now with Nevada is Biden is going to win it. And Georgia, on the other hand, look how close that is. That's close, man. That's a tight draw. Really, really tight situation. Yeah, Arizona is not 100% done yet. There's still 12% left to report. So we have to wait and see. Yeah, Fox has gotten a lot of shit about the reporting they have. I don't know why they called it. I can see why it's blue on the map now. Well, that's because he has a majority of the votes. No, Eagle, I don't. I think by Friday, by tomorrow, you'll know. Really hope Biden wins for the sake of the Americans. Robbie, let me ask you, what specifically, what do you think Biden will do differently than Trump is currently doing or plans to do that would make it better for Americans? What's up, Bill Hubbard? Yeah, but there's not many map websites that are like this that I could really reflect on. I'd like to know what Biden is going to do different, aside from you just not liking Donald Trump. People have to understand, man, if something happens to Biden, that Harris is going to become president. Kamala Harris.
Wow. This place is letting you watch them online. Do the ballots. Live streaming. Every room, you can watch the hallways, you can watch the front entrance, back entrance.
Where is this? What state?
Marsupial, Arizona?
Arizona.
I believe so. But that is super, super cool.
Well, I'm going through a lot of the same things that your daughter probably went through, and I feel there's a much greater chance they get help with Biden's health plans than with Trump's. Huh. So yours is really the health plan. I can't really I haven't done any due diligence on a health plan for Biden versus Trump. So I can't really comment on that.
Biden wants to reactivate Obamacare and give a lot of people free insurance.
Remember that Remember that health insurance is never free. You still pay for it. Just pay for it via taxes or something.
Your neighbors pay it.
Yeah, or somebody's paying it.
Well, that's why Biden's doing the tax hikes to pay for the free insurance for the disenfranchised.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Insurance is such a scam. It's a huge scam.
I think it's a higher percentile than that. I think it's about 95% chance that Biden's going to win. 95, 98. I'm telling you, if Biden takes Georgia, that's it. Yeah, Biden care, right? Is what he's calling it? Or Bo Biden or something.
Yo, that is hilarious. Because he's like, I was under this guy, he called it Obamacare, they printed on everything, I want my name on everything. Change it to a Biden care. Like, you child. You can't just call it insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Derek. That's right. I apologize. Nancy Pelosi had said that. She said that is that what she was talking about, the healthcare? I remember listening to her talk about how in order for you to see it, we got to pass it.
Yes.
Is that what that is? I didn't know if it was the healthcare. I thought that was something else. All right, take it easy, Oliver. Well, you have to remember, nostalgia, under Trump made a lovely thing where you can price check certain surgeries and medications. That was the thing that Trump did. A lot of people failed to remember the things that Trump have done positive for this country. They just look at, I guess, the way that he acts or the way that he talks and then judges he shouldn't be a president because of this. They don't look at the things that he's done. They always forget the peace in the Middle East, even though that's a huge situation. The only president to ever step foot in North Korea. You could give him shit all day long, but I'll tell you what, you're gonna have a hard time telling me the problems that he has. I would like somebody to tell me that does not like Trump what he's done that has negatively affected you. Aside from the healthcare thing, I can't really comment on that because I have done zero research in that department. Economics, got it. Financials, got it. Health, I've done no research on it. The healthcare comparing, we'd have to read over it. The Biden versus Trump. Yes, a lot of people watch the media, and that's how they judge. Look, people can use the argument that the media is what got the Democrats all the votes, and there's a lot of truth in that. There is.
So where Trump wants to require hospitals to disclose charges to their customers, Biden would prefer to have a public option program to negotiate prices with hospitals and other providers.
Don't like that. I don't like that. Trump isn't a bad person. Ben Wiggins is always commenting on my Facebook. Trump isn't a bad person. Thanks for joining, by the way, brother. And I'm certain he means well. He's done a lot of things others couldn't, as you say, but his arrogance and abrasiveness are difficult to stomach sometimes. Well, let me ask you this, Ben. Would you rather a president that's a pushover? Like, don't you think that that's a good thing to be that abrasive or to be that? I don't want to say arrogant. I can see the arrogance in Trump. I can. But I feel like when dealing with certain international political situations, you need to be that way. Intimidation works. It does. Anybody that served in the military will tell you that it 100% works. That's what got you to do the shit that you didn't want to do, is you were kind of intimidated into doing it. It's not like he's intimidating Americans. I mean, you may see it that way. You may.
Honestly, I feel like if Trump didn't use Twitter, he would have way more respect.
Yeah, I agree. I've said this before. I think that Mr. Jack, the CEO of Twitter, was really kicking himself in the ass for when Donald Trump decided to use Twitter. I don't think it was a smart move. I think it okay, so if I'm looking at this from both angles, I think it's good that he's on Twitter to kind of give like little updates or little quips, if you will. I don't know if it's the best thing that you could have done. I feel like he should have went to Tumblr because nobody's on that. He would have helped out the platform dramatically, and nobody would have gave a shit because it's on Tumblr. The Twitter situation definitely hurt him more than it helped him.
That's not wrong. Trump cannot speak with a filter, so people hate it. Biden cannot speak for himself. People hate it. Both are right.
Yeah, you do have to understand that Biden becoming president, he's going to be a puppet. That's a very big, important thing to remember. That he's not going to make a lot of decisions on his own. I think maybe if he was a little more eloquent and definitely left the social media alone. But you do have to say this, Ben, is as much as I know you're not a big fan of Trump, but you do have to say this, that him going on social media, you've seen more political figures be active in social media.
More celebs.
Yep.
More everything.
More celebrities, more governors, more mayors even, which a lot of people seem to forget what a mayor is because you never hear about them. But you do have to say that. Again, there are some things that he said on Twitter that don't make any sense. I always go back to this little number. I remember when they asked Trump about the vape ban, about what he was going to do, and I'll never forget this. He was like, well, we've got a lot of really important people that are going to write a really big piece of paper. It's a nice piece of paper. That's your answer? A big piece of paper. Okay. I never saw the big piece of paper, though. The only thing I saw was the PMTA situation, which had nothing to do with him.
I feel like in the future, like say 10 years from now, they're completely going to edit him out of the history books.
Who?
Trump. I guarantee you it will not be anything positive in those books. Just like how they're taking out stuff about the Civil War, and they're taking stuff out about how this country was formed, and they're taking stuff out about slavery. Like they're editing history for future generations without them knowing it. Actively.
I could see that. I can see that as a strong possibility. Well, no, I could see that argument, Derwolf. That's a solid argument that there's a lot that he says that other media networks filter out. That's fine. I'm talking about like when he's going on a rant. That's what I'm talking about. Not so much like news or little updates about what you're doing with the country. Like, I think that's fantastic. I'm talking about when he'll call somebody out and tag them and say, you're whatever, you're a piece of shit in a nice way. I don't see how that helps you. I don't see the positivity behind that. Not even as a senator or a congressman. I don't see a good argument there. What do you got?
About the national minimum wage thing being raised to $15, it only helps out teenagers. It does not help out the people who are on salary-based jobs.
Right.
So me working on a salary-based jobs, let's say I make $35,000 a year, right? The prices of everything is going to rise because minimum wage rose. The minimum wage people are getting paid from those stores. So now for me to buy anything, it's going to cost me, I don't know, another third more than I would normally pay I don't change my pay.
I would think that they would adjust salaries based off of, because I would feel like there'd be something written in the federal mandated law that salaries must be adjusted equivalently. Let's just say you are getting 35, right? When minimum wage was $8. Now, because they raised it by X amount of percent, that salary will be raised up X amount of percent.
I wonder if they have to do that though, because the last time that there was a spike,
they would have to, because they would have to, because if they didn't do that, then the argument would have for all those people that are under salary, hey, these people are essentially getting paid more than I am.
I could just work at McDonald's and make
right.
more.
And I feel like there has to be something that would factor in the people that are making salary.
I surely hope so.
I hope as well, but that doesn't help out smaller companies. No. That helps out bigger corporations. Right. No, that's what I'm saying, Dar. As far as, yeah, that we're on the same page there. The policies or things he doesn't like or things that weren't said or even calling out the major news networks, totally fine. When you start tagging random people and attacking them, it's just not smart. It's not a good look. I don't think that's what hurt him. I think what hurt him is his response to Corona. That's people's argument, and his brashness. I think that's what hurt Donald Trump. I don't think he's a bad president. I don't think he would do bad if he did another 4 years. I would much prefer Trump over Biden for a multitude of reasons. You have to realize all of these riots, man, all this shit that happened is because of Democrats. That's facts. Like, that's not, I'm not making that up. That's what it is. But like Bree said, that will go away if Biden becomes president.
I think if someone censored his Twitter account, he would make a second account called the real Donald Trump.
And put a check mark next to it. Yeah, small businesses will be destroyed, Darwolf. Absolutely. You tell a business like myself that I have to give everybody $15 minimum wage, I'm out. I'm out, man. That's it. It's that simple.
There's one type of salary kind of thing that I think should be adjusted is for waiters and waitresses. They are way underpaid. Like, a lot of places factor in their tips into how they pay them.
You're talking about that $3 or whatever an hour you got?
There should be a national mandate of how much minimum they should be making per hour, and that should be held to a standard. Because when I was a waitress, some days I wouldn't make anything because we didn't have any customers. But me and 6 other chicks were there all day long.
Now, is that so if you work at, let's just say, a main place like Red Lobster versus a diner, is that different?
Well, at the diner that I worked at, we just got $2.75 plus tips.
Right.
At Fridays, they calculated how much tips we were supposed to get and factored that into our wages. So sometimes that number.
So again, you're going back into small businesses versus big businesses. Big businesses would compensate that small businesses would not.
No.
Right, but that would hurt small businesses. I don't see him winning Nevada. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't see the possibility. 76. It really hasn't changed. Georgia's getting oddly close. 99% reported. Right, and nostalgia. I'm not saying that. Yeah, when it comes to like a McDonald's, yeah, I think you should. I don't know about $15. Dude, $15 an hour is a lot of money.
How many people do they have on staff at a time? Like 8?
McDonald's, it's got to be more than 8, right?
So,
I mean, you
let's
figure
say-
4 cashiers, 5 people in the back, so that's 9. 2 people on drive to 11. I don't know, 15 people.
All right, let's see. 15 times 15. They would be shelling out $225 per hour to pay their employees. There's no way they make $225 an hour in fast food. How many Big Macs is that? That's 45 Big Macs an hour. Just to cut even.
Yeah, I've never really looked into that. I think that's a little bit different though. Nostalgia. I'm talking about more so companies like myself, like a small business that has 2-3 employees, or maybe even 1 employee. Granted, it's different because I'm a vape shop, so that's totally different. But any other mom and pop, and typically Northeast, you'll see a lot of mom and pops. You're not going to see a lot of those in, let's just say, Los Angeles, right? You're going to see a lot of, big companies.
Solid point.
What's that?
How are tips considered wage? Is it gratuity mandatory? Because if you think about it, like, honestly, most people don't tip. Like, most people don't. Especially during the coronavirus when everyone's like, I'm poor, I want to go out to eat anyway.
Yeah. And now they have limited staff, right? Have limited amount of people. Limited amount of people on staff, so automatically they're trying to calculate how much money they're going to make a day versus how many people are employed that day. It's rough.
But that's another issue.
I say if you make more than $1 million a year in profit, you should have to pay $15 an hour. Oh, I would say half. If you in profit, I'd say if you make over 500,000 a year as a corporate. Well, again, you have to factor in how many people are employed. If you have 10 people employed, no, there needs to be more to that equation. I think a lot of people don't understand if Biden becomes president, which he probably is going to. He's going to shut down America again. Like, shut it down. Like, close it down. Close it down. Yeah, they say 300 to 500% profit margin on food. 300 to 500, roughly, depending on where you're eating. Which is pretty fucking crazy. My work limits the amount we are allowed to tip for business expense. If we want to tip more than 18%, it's out of my pocket. Yeah, I remember back in the day, it was kind of customary to leave a 5 to 10% tip. But then somewhere along the lines it changed, right? Now it's 15 to 40% or 15 to
like it's between 10 and 25%.
Is it 25?
Yeah, I think so. He'll close it and sell it to China.
Yeah, that's why I say, Fidalgo, like when I was talking to Bree yesterday and we were talking about what would truly happen to us, realistically, with his policies that I'm aware of, taxes. That's kind of it.
I would be affected if he mandates insurance again, because I currently don't have insurance because Trump told me I didn't need it. So if he mandates that, then I'm going to get in trouble when I file my taxes for not having health insurance.
Is everyone against the minimum wage? I don't know what you mean by that, Ben. I don't think anybody's against the minimum wage. I think we're against the $15 minimum wage. Yeah, think about it like this, right? Like, it's not that I'm against it. Like, for instance, there's a certain. I have to pull out I have a poster, right, that gets sent to me yearly, I think, about the adjustment of the federal minimum wage because it goes up every year. And there is a certain little clause that goes in there where if you have under 2,500 employees, I don't want to misquote this. If you have under X amount of employees, you're not mandated to do X amount of employees a year. Because you have to factor in with a business, your number one overhead is not your electric. It's your employees. That's what hurts the most, is having 5-6 employees when you're only doing $200 a day in sales. Clearly you're in the negative. So now you got to let people go. Now they have to get unemployment, and then unemployment goes to the state, and then the state gets the money from the federal government. You see how that works? So I'm against the $15 minimum wage if you're a small mom and pop business. I think $10, yes, I agree, Ryan. I feel that $10 would be enough. $15 is ridiculous.
Check out how much states are paying people right now. In I don't know, 25-30% of the states, that would double.
Wow.
Yeah, most states are only paying $7, $8,
The
$5.
minimum wage in Washington, D.C. is already $14.
He's
Close enough. Yeah, see, again, minimum wage here in New Jersey is $10. It's $10. So I feel like that is enough. I guess it really depends on where you're at. You know, you got, what's the smallest here? Would be Texas, Utah, 725.
Yeah, at the very bottom.
That's federal mandated, right? 725.
At Wyoming, it's $5 that they get paid per hour. $5.15. You can get a box of.
Yeah, that's a little intense.
Lights.
I guess because where I'm at, it's already on the upper scale. So to go to 15, I think is a little crazy. I think if you work at Walmart, I think they could afford $15 an hour. Yeah, it is done by state, but there still is a federal mandate for a minimum amount, John.
$7.25.
So, which is $7.25.
So he wants some more than.
Yeah, I feel like $7.25 is a little low, though. It is.
It's not a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, I definitely feel that $7.25 is entirely too low at this day and age. $10, I feel, would be equivalent. Maybe $9.50. Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with the big corporations. Totally. But what that does is that hurts the small business. You have to understand that. It will, and that's what Trump was saying to Biden at the last debate is because I guess Trump at some point said he was going to do the $15 minimum wage, which I don't think he should have said. But I guess he was trying to attract the teenagers. Maybe he should have just like interviewed or had someone interview him, like Little Kim or something, so the people from the '90s could use a reference. I don't know. Yeah, probably Hawk. Probably. Is the cost of living lower here than here in UK? That I'm not aware of, Ben. Maybe. I'm not aware.
Here, cost of living strongly varies state to state.
And town to town.
Yes.
If for instance in Edison, right, to get a little studio jammy is gonna cost you $1,300 a month, $1,400 a month, roughly. Now you go to a place like Jamesburg, $800-900. It really is dependent on where you're going. It's that different of a, and that's only I don't know 15 minutes from me.
That's a valid point. If minimum wage goes up, then groceries and supplies go up because companies are not going to lower their profits.
That's right.
So you stay in the same exact problem.
Exactly.
That's true.
It's like me with World of Tanks. It's like playing tier 4. There's no difference of it. It's the same thing. It's just a lower bracket. So if you raise the bracket, you do more damage to the tank, but that you have the same amount of health. So it's all you're doing is just changing the. Well, what you are. Well, I guess what you are doing is you're increasing the value of the American dollar, right? So, no, actually, you would be decreasing it, not increasing it.
Oh.
Yeah, you're decreasing it. Because if the rest of the world is not on the same scale as what you are, well.
When you were younger, the amount of money that you made per hour versus purchasing things, did you have money left over? Like, how does that change?
Well, let me give you a reference. When I was starting to work, a pack of cigarettes was about $1.85. But I'd be able to buy, in 1 hour of working, a pack of cigarettes. Now, you would not be able to. But that could be because of taxes, the taxes on tobacco. You'd have to factor in something simple. That'd be tough. You'd have to say like clothes in New Jersey, right? Because clothes aren't taxed. It's different because everything has raised. I mean, you used to be able to buy, fill up your whole tank for $5-6. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, you work an hour, you're lucky if you get 2-3 gallons. But is that because of taxes or is that because of the value of the gas?
Huh.
I remember when a 20 pack was 50 cents. Jesus Christ. Now, I don't know where you fucking live or how old you are.
They're one of the 170-year-olds.
Yeah, if you're from America, you must be one of those 122-year-olds voting. Gallon of gas in UK is $6. Wait, is that when you're saying $6? Are you saying six like American dollars or £6? The gap is closing in Arizona. Not by much. 0.3%. Yeah, a lot of people keep using that argument is that Republicans are a majority of the Senate. Yeah, you're talking about for bills or laws or I'm not even looking at it that way. Let's just talk about if something happens to Biden, that Kamala Harris will be president. That's who's gonna represent United States of America. $6 one. Yeah, here's the update, Stan. So let me refresh this real quick. So he was at 50.7 Biden before. Now Trump, he's 50.5, 48.1, 60,000 spread. So Trump got, I don't know, 20,000 or 10,000 more votes, but there's still 12% left. Nevada, ugh. Pennsylvania, still 12% left. North Carolina, 6% left. Georgia, 1% left. But that is getting tight. Again, he takes these three, and this, he's got it. Will he, though? I have no idea. I just don't know when Georgia's going to finish up, man. I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there. 420K votes of where? In Arizona, Stan? Where are you getting that from? The problem is with Georgia is they're finding a lot of ballots that were unaccounted for. And that may be what's holding them up. 400. Wait, you're saying 420,000 in total or 420,000 just in Arizona alone? If Biden ends up switching, if Arizona ends up switching to Trump, well, let me give you a scenario. If let's go back over here real quick. If Arizona ends up switching to Trump, right, it's going to take 11 off, right? It's going to put him at well, he needs 6 points. That's 11. If he loses Arizona and takes Pennsylvania, he's going to win. I don't know if he's going to take Pennsylvania, but I really feel like he's going to take. Yeah. If he loses Arizona but gains Georgia, he wins. If he gains Georgia in general, and they're still counting because this number is still going up. 615 is the last three. 615. 259. I got 264. Where do you see 264? If he gets 6 points, that puts him at 270. Or you're saying if he loses... No, because if he loses... Hold on, let me do some math real quick. 264 minus 11. 253. Yeah, if he loses Arizona and gains Pennsylvania... Oh, you're talking about Georgia. Okay, so if he loses Arizona, that brings him back down to 253. If he gains Georgia, he's at 269. But he's going to... I do not see Trump winning Nevada. I don't see it happening. Because when you look at the 2016 Nevada is well, this is all jacked up because up here you have Michigan that's red, but it's blue now, and Arizona, it's all different from what it used to be. I really do not think Nevada is going to be in Trump's favor. So if Trump does take Nevada,
in one of the scenarios that someone manipulated, just for fun, both candidates get 269.
which it goes to the 12th Amendment.
SCOTUS? Is that who it is? Secretary? No.
The House of Representatives.
Yes.
Which is Nancy Pelosi.
How crazy would it be if it was actually, like, the guy who did
Well, she doesn't get it. She gets the pick.
Oh,
so,
I meant, like, the guy who made the map.
Oh.
Like, as a joke, and it actually becomes real.
I hope so, Durr. I hope you're right, brother. Well, Judd, it goes even further than that. You have states that are voting for Biden that have very, very open gun laws. I feel like they must have missed the rally where he talked about removing guns and really limiting the Second Amendment.
Because the news didn't share any of that.
Of course they didn't.
So, I've seen this brought up a couple times about the casinos. So, if you're in, like, Nevada, your taxes would go up dramatically because all of them are making mass amounts of money. So, why would they even vote for Biden in the first place?
I don't understand why Michigan would, considering there's so much for fossil fuels.
Yes, all their jobs?
I can't understand what these people are voting on. I think they're just voting on Biden just to get rid of Trump. That's it. House by delegates or House of Representatives? Hold on a second. Hold on a second, guys.
The House chooses one of the top 3 presidential electoral votes. The Senate chooses one. And then that's it.
Here's your answer. It is an unlikely event that President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden will become locked in a state 269 tie. The House will break it, which each state delegation getting one vote, according to 270 to win, a nonpartisan political website that projects elections. If neither candidate gets a majority of the 538 electoral votes, the election for president is decided in a House of Representatives, which each state, House of Representatives, which is Nancy Pelosi, which each delegation have one vote. A majority of states, 26, is needed to win. Senators would elect the vice president, which each senator having a vote. A majority of senators, 51, needed to win, the website states. Would elect the vice president. Situation would more likely favor Trump. Experts say if that were to happen, I think the conventional wisdom is that Republicans would probably be favored. Burns called the tie highly unlikely and literally the messiest scenario possible. The same process would come into play if a third-party candidate were to win enough electoral votes to prevent either candidate from reaching 270.
Oh.
So, is decided in the House of Representatives, which each state delegation having one vote. A majority of states, 26, is needed to win. Senators would elect the vice president, with each senator having a vote. So the House of Representatives pick the president, which would be Biden, and then the senators select the vice president. Okay, so Nancy Pelosi would pick Biden
and give a 5-minute speech about how she feels about something that she wanted to push through, and at the very end say Biden. You know what's interesting? California wants to break their state up into 15 separate segments, to have 15 separate...
Hold on 1 second, guys. Hello? Hello? What's up, brother? Are you kidding? Fine. What am I going to do? So it's a nail this time?
Oh, Jesus.
Can you save it? And save it just with the other screw. Yep. Okay. How long to... Okay, so tomorrow I could pick it up around like 1? Yes. And how much is the detail? Okay, so like 4 o'clock tomorrow I could pick it up then, if detail. Or couldn't they detail it now with the tire being all flat and shit? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Yep. All right, brother. Okay. All right, bye. Excuse me. It's a nail screw in the sidewall. How it got there? No idea. Yeah, Mark, don't even get me started. I don't want to go too far away from politics here, but I guess we're going to go there. So I get in the car today, my Tahoe, of course, and as I'm driving away, my heads-up display is flickering and it's beeping. What do you got? Oh, I was going to show them.
Oh.
So it's flickering and beeping, and I've never seen this. And it says, warning, 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 warning. Flat tire, not low air pressure, flat tire. Long story short, my front left tire has a hole in it. Like a hole. Whatever went through it, went through it. Went through the tire and into the tire. You're not understanding. Like if someone took a bullet and shot whatever, and the bullet got stuck between the sheetrock, the nail was in the tire. Not in the thread, inside of the rim. You get what I'm saying? So between the rim and the tire, where the air is. Long story short, I'm like, okay, well, I can't drive this anywhere. So I guess I'm going to take out the TTRS, which was fine. Had Audi pick it up because it's, have had so many problems with this. I'm telling you, it is the magnetic shocks. That thing, because every time you stop the car to light, it raises up and it lowers and it activates the magnets. And I'm telling you, it's picking up whatever's on the road. I don't care what anybody tells you. That's what it's got to be. I picked up more nails and screws. I feel like a street sweeper. So my front left tire is gone. And they can't fix it because it put a hole through the sidewall of the tire. So I have to get a new tire. Again. I need a wholesale account with Bridgestone tonight. I'm so tired of this shit. Just to have random tires in my back.
Because it's been a month, and there has literally been three screw incidents.
Three.
He's gotten 3 tires. You should get the 4th one for free.
Yo. Is it like buy 1 or buy 5, get 20 free? I mean, there's no problem with the engine or the car. It's just tires. But it went through the tire. Like through it. Maybe like when I was parking, I hit like a rock on that specific thing and it just punctured it. Can't win. I can't win, man. Just register as a street sweeper. No problems with any of my other cars. Just that one. Can't win. You can't win. No, because it's like the same type of screws. Like, I really honestly feel like it's from the original one. Like, I drove all the way down to South Carolina with this little guy in there. And then I hit something on that sidewall and it just went through. Biden is the legitimate winner. What the Orange Man is trying to do is what it do. Why do people refer to him as the Orange Man? Like, why don't you refer to, like, why does that have to be insulting? Like, if you're going to make a comment like that, why call him the Orange Man? Why not call him Trump? Like, it's like saying stroked out Biden. Like, what? Okay. It's like pulling an MGK. You're trying to sound so snarky, like, oh, Biden's going to win. We get it. Biden won. Cool. Great deal. Shouldn't that be for the greater good of America? Not like a rub in your fucking face. But instead, you have to insult the individual. I can't understand that.
What was that quote? Once they resort to name calling, it's a son that they've lost?
Yeah. Socrates. Like, there's no name calling here, right? Like, we're legitimately talking about politics and my tire for a little bit, but and then here comes guy with Orange Man. Orange Man. What the fuck? Is that really your best insult? Call him toupee or something.
Could someone be messing with you?
No. I've thought about it. There's no way. It's too sporadic. Why not that? Why not the motorcycles that are sitting outside? Why aren't they tipped over?
Valid point.
You understand what I'm saying? I feel like you tip over a motorcycle or knock over motorcycles, we'd have a valid argument of it being malicious. Or blowing out the more expensive car's tire. You have a great point. But
maybe it's the dude who wanted to buy the car that wasn't allowed to because you already purchased it.
It's all good, Retro. It's all good, brother. It's all good. It's just, if people are going to make fun of Trump for calling Joe names, does it really make you any better calling Trump names? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we get it. We get it with the insults. Like, fine. Orange Man, I'm voting for Biden with higher taxes, increased regulation, and a national shutdown. Those are all 3 things you're going to get, by the way. Like, you're going to get all of those. How quick is his tax policy? So once he comes in, he introduces that it's got to go through the Congress, right? It's going to get a green light, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I would assume so. No lie, that is how UK news outlets talk about Trump. They call him worse than Orange Man. Really, Lee? Is that really a thing? So UK is that much against Trump? Why? Don't you guys have that Boris Batman or whatever the fuck his name is? Boris Batman or something? Yeah, ain't that the truth, Richie? Trump wins, you bet your bottom dollar right now that there's going to be riots out the asshole. UK media hates Trump. UK citizens love him. Vintage, is it anything like how in America Fox really, I'll say, supports Trump, right? Versus all other media networks really don't. Is it the same thing in UK? Like, do you have a network that likes Trump and all the other ones don't? Or is it typically all of them just don't like Trump? Boris Johnson, that's it. What's wrong? Why are you stressing? Why are you breathing, Bree?
2021?
Yeah,
No, that's when it would start.
is when it would start.
Yeah, according to this one website, all the other websites don't have dates. They're talking about projections if it wasn't stated next year until 2025 and until 2030. They're not saying exactly a date that it would go into effect.
Yeah, J Palm, they are, brother. They are. I can't win. But I have no problems with the car. It's just, well, then the cracked carbon fiber and the scratched rear. I, I don't really want to talk about it on here because we're talking about politics. But I figured out what the problem was with the scratch on the bumper. I will tell you this, Wager. I don't know if we'll see any riots from Republicans if Biden gets elected. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't foresee that. I don't. And I know that that sounds like I'm siding with Republicans, but the fact of the matter is that any of these chads or chazzes or whatever taking over towns, that's not done by Republicans. That's done by Democrats and the far left. So I don't foresee any of that. I don't want to say we should, but maybe we should set an example and say, well, setting an example would be not doing it. I I just you can't win. Ramsey boy, that is a very very good point. Most people will disagree with that, but typically speaking, what you'll see is Republicans are the people that follow the law. I'm not saying that some don't go into these riots, get pissed off, and punch a bunch of Democrats in the face, but typically speaking, they're not the type that would knock down a statue because they love this country. Again, I'm not saying that Biden doesn't love this country. I just feel that Trump loves it more than Biden. And we have to pick the two. Well, we did pick the two. Let me look at these numbers again. I feel like every time I look at these numbers, though, they just get worse. Georgia hasn't moved at all. Neither has Pennsylvania. That is correct. Republicans won't riot until someone comes for their guns. Yeah, yeah. You can't take away the Second Amendment. I don't care how big of a president you think you are. You can't do it. You can't. How though? That's what I'm asking, Biscuit. That you're the second person that made that comment. How is Biden better for America? How? Can you just give me one example? Like what is he going to do that makes him better for America? Like what one just give me two things. How? Well, guns aren't really banned in any states, Philip. It just makes it very difficult to get guns in those states. It's not that they're banned, they're just very restrictive. I'm not going to go into how I know, but I do know the far right is up to something. I know some folks that are pissed and they are suited and booted. Suited and booted. That makes me feel like it's somebody that's going hunting. Like he's about ready to go into a swamp to find ducks. Biscuit vapes, they still do love a bit of a. You're not, Philip, you're not getting what I'm saying. If you didn't get that I'm center right now, I don't know how you're figuring that Trump's like again, see how you try to go with the insult? Like you can't have a legitimate conversation without doing an insult. Like have a dialogue. Be a damn grown up. Like you act like a individual where you can have a conversation. If you're gonna make a statement, at least address it and answer the question. You got to go with the insult. It's you're no better than anybody else that trolls a friggin' video. Like answer the question how he's gonna be better. So Biscuit Vapes isn't going to answer the question. Right. Come on, guys, look how Trump is acting now. He is acting like a baby, throwing a tantrum because he's not going. It's not going his way. You mean like how the Democrats were when they tried to impeach Trump? You mean that? Just like that? For like 3 years? Like that? That's a temper tantrum. That's a 3-year temper tantrum. You can't sit here and tell me that the Democrats are any better. Right? Come on, man. Right? Come on, man. They did the same shit they did. That's even worse. Think about how much money they spent for those 3 years trying to impeach Donald Trump, which they fucking failed miserably at. Miserably. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. That's a temper tantrum if I ain't seen one before. You're not getting my way. I'm going to go to Daddy. That's basically what they did. And Daddy was all of America. So how's it any better? Would it be any different if Republicans did riots and protests like the Democrats? I don't know, man. At least now, maybe they should. Maybe they should do the same thing that happened under Donald Trump's watch and do riots and protests.
Jay doesn't care about losing businesses. That would never happen.
Well, who said something about me losing business? What
Jay,
happened?
what is your mindset on business owners having to silence a political stance to not lose their businesses?
Who said that?
Wagger Bates? Jay would have Trump flags all over the store. He wouldn't care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Jay, what is your mindset on business owners having to silence their political stance to not lose business? Do you want to know the flags that I have in here? Whack. Sean P, are you in here? Sean P, where you at? Sean P, tell them about the flags that I got. Tell them about the fucking flags I got plastered in this business. Ooh, boy. Don't even get me started. I don't feel like you should silence how you feel. If you feel a certain way, put it out there. If people don't like, see, that's where as a business owner you have to say to yourself, okay, do I really give a shit if the customers like what I believe? I don't know if you should really get your. I don't think it's a good business move to put your political belief out there. But if you want to be free and you want to promote it, then put it out there. Biden's Second Amendment loophole is that the Constitution doesn't state what kind of guns you're allowed to own. It also doesn't specify what kind of guns you're not allowed to own. Democrats don't own small businesses. That's why they don't mind burning them down. Wow. Wow. Vintage, that is a very, very good point. I don't know many Democrats that do own small businesses. I will give you that. Politics, money, and religion. Religion, Sandro. Usually it's money, politics, religion. In that specific order. I don't mind speaking about all three of those. Biscuit has a whole live stream on his channel and there's no volume on the entire video. Now you get it. Okay. Yeah, they do. CNN, and that's the thing. No matter what you what you turn on, they're all, what is it? ABC is the other one. Like no matter which one you turn on, they seem to be all against Trump. like every friggin' media network. Well, Lee, I've lost a lot of patrons because of my belief, which is pretty damn center. I guess you'd say center right, but pretty damn center. Does Trump still think he won? I think so. Check these numbers again. Have you been looking, Bree?
No, I'm reading the chat.
Yeah, these aren't moving. No, Timmy, I don't. I went over this yesterday. I don't think that there should be more relevant parties like independent or green reform. Those parties, all they do is take away votes from the other person and then just, or both people, and then make it very difficult to count ballots. There should be two options, man: Republican or Democrat, or don't vote. I don't even know why they're there. When people are I legitimately would love to speak to somebody that voted independent and ask them why. Like I thought about this all morning. I would love to find out why they voted for that person. Because I don't like either candidate. So why vote at all? Like to show your support for that individual so you get text messages for the rest of your life? I don't.
I got less than 1% in your state, man. Like, why are you bothered?
Absolutely, Mike's Reef. Absolutely, I have. Well, it's still not over, man. If those three go, if those three go red, it's not over. It's essentially a tie. He, President Trump, when he said drink bleach, was sarcasm. Like that was sarcasm. If you believe, oh my God, you're one of those people. You're one of those. Oh God.
So do you think Jay really has a giant keyboard and that he really gets someone on the phone and that all of his products smell like random things?
Well, that's assuming that they watch the other channel. They might have just found me through. Yeah, that wouldn't work. You think so, Eddie? PA, North Carolina, and Georgia will go red, and Arizona will flip. Well, if they all go red, all he needs is 4 points, 5 points. If you think Trump was serious about the bleach, you shouldn't be able to vote. Yeah, you also you shouldn't be able to vote, and you shouldn't be watching TV. It might be best suited if you're in a padded room with a helmet on. Thank you for joining there, Heather. Not the time for sarcasm, really, was it? And it wasn't, by the way. He said it 2-3 times at other events, too. And every time he said it with sarcasm. And I see nothing wrong with him doing sarcasm. Nothing wrong with that at all. He never told you if you want it. He never made the statement. If you want to get rid of Corona, you just drink bleach. Like, he never made that. He never made that statement. Never. Find me the video of him saying that. Why is that, Hawk? What do you think will happen when I hit 100K? Chat's going to be unreal. I'm going to have to turn members mode only on. 100,000? Yeah, that. Even if there's like 10,000 in chat, have you ever watched any of these big streamers, their chat? They disable it because they can't read it. It moves so fast. There would be no longer a free chat. It would be gone because I interact with the chat. I am good. And yourself? Yeah, I just said thank you. They do, Cop, and they take it way out of context. They'll take something and just cut that one part. You know, there's people that believe that a lot of the voting right now that's happening is other countries that are involved with it. I don't agree. I think it's more of an internal situation. Cause man, you're literally grinding every day across so many platforms. It's inspiring as fuck. Thank you, Hawk. Yeah, I try, brother. I try. Try to be very, very diverse, which is very difficult. To see both sides of an aisle. It is. It's very difficult, especially when my tires keep getting flat. I try to figure out what I've been doing wrong. I just can't come up with the logical explanation. Jay, thoughts on fake votes? Can you explain fake votes? If your fake votes are old people that is no way that they're alive, I call bullshit. Like I think it's a real thing. I don't think it should be happening. How long have I been live? Ooh, 14 more minutes, guys. A lot of votes just came in for where? Where did you see a lot of votes just came in? Oh, looking at the totals. Yeah, it's probably from states that are already counted. Ooh. That Arizona one. Oh man. There you go. Arizona, that's even a bigger spread. 50.5 to 48.1. So another 3% came in. It was at 85% or 84% at the beginning. He's definitely going to take North Carolina. Definitely got North Carolina. Pennsylvania, I have no idea. Well, it's the same thing, J Palm, with on my other channel, how I'll say something sarcastically and people think that I mean it. So I legitimately think people don't understand sarcasm when, just in general, whether it's comedic or just satire, just people don't understand it. They just don't get it. Either way, you are all fucked. Fantastic. Yeah, they're talking about the White House one, the Bleach statement. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Well, here's wow, a fact check actually siding with Trump. Holy shit, what is the odds of that? Did Trump tell people to drink bleach to kill the coronavirus? Joe Biden on COVID-19, Donald Trump said that maybe if you drank bleach, you may be mostly false. Joe Biden criticized President Donald Trump's handling of the coronavirus pandemic, saying during a speech on the economy that Trump had given up trying to manage a crisis he's ill-equipped to solve. Trump spoke about the role he thought that disinfectants could play in tackling an infection caused by virus during a now infamous April 23rd briefing. But he didn't say people should drink bleach. Here are the full comments. A question that probably some of you are thinking of if you're totally into that world, which I find to be very interesting. So supposedly we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too, right? Sounds interesting, right? He continued. And then I see, oh, here it comes. And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see, it gets in the lungs and it does a tremendous number on the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So you're going to have to use the medical doctors with, but it sounds interesting to me. So we'll see. But the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful. Later, Trump clarified his comments that the reporter asked Brian whether disinfectants could actually be injected into COVID-19 patients. It wouldn't be through injections, almost a cleaning and sterilization of an area. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work, but it certainly has a big effect if it's on a stationary object. No. So no, he never told people to drink bleach. Trump did not specifically recommend ingesting disinfectants, but he did express interest in exploring whether disinfectants could be applied to the site of a coronavirus infection inside the body, such as the lungs. Right. So here's BBC. There's nothing saying that he said drink bleach. What the fuck? So what people just come up with this shit? So people took injection inside as drinking bleach or injecting bleach. See, even the Philip guy that was just talking about, he said drink bleach. He never fucking said that. Thank you, Pete. He has never, ever, ever said drink bleach. Play the video. Okay.
So supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number on the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. So we'll see. But the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty.
So you got that? So what he just said, you got drinking bleach out of, or injecting bleach? I don't see how you got that off of what he just said. Then no, that's the exact thing. That's literally what is quoted from your website, The Guardian UK. Show me the video. Wait, I want to see the video. Thank you, Hawk. Wait, hold on. I want to see the video you talking about where he says to drink bleach. What's the vid? Then tell me where the video is. Where's the video of Trump saying drink bleach? Video of Donald Trump saying drink bleach. And he never said drink, he said injecting. Even if you search it,
where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number.
It's the same speech. It's the same one. Where does he say injecting bleach? Wait, can you show me the video where he says injecting bleach, please? Right, but now they're saying it wasn't drink bleach. Now it's inject. Well, go back up to Phillips' thing. He said wrong video, and you know it. That's not the original recording. This is after. He says digest it. That's drinking. He doesn't say digest it. Where? He first off, he's never said the word bleach. He said disinfectant, which I could be peroxide, could be rubbing alcohol, could be fucking iodine. It could be neosporin. There could be a lot of things. How you're getting bleach out of that? I don't know. I don't know. I'd love to see the clip though of him saying digest it, because that clip right there is what is being referenced. And I see it does sound kind of silly about injecting a disinfectant. Yeah, that sounds pretty fucking ridiculous. But he doesn't say ingest or inject bleach. You're taking his words and you're manipulating it and coming up with your own concoction. That's what you're doing. It is the original video. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm pulling it up. But people are just it's stupid him saying inject things into the lungs. Like that sounds kind of silly. But he didn't tell people to drink bleach at home. That's just some shit that Joe Biden came up with because it's got a great ringtone. He never fucking said drink bleach. Never. You show me a video where Trump tells people to drink bleach. I'll give you the keys to my car. Right. He's not. I'm not. You're right, Stephen. He's not. He's not. Which is why he kind of should have like handed the mic over to the doctor, like, like, like let him cover that. It's not your field, bro. You run the country. We'll do the medical. Like this isn't. This isn't your calling. Like I would never say inject the lungs with a disinfectant. That's not very well written, if that is written or if that's off the cuff. It's just bad. But I doubt I'm not going to say 199% in doubt of him telling you to drink bleach. No fucking way would he say that. No, I just said it. What he said was stupid about injecting a lung with disinfectant. Yeah, it sounds dumb. It sounds dumb, like not intelligent, like you don't know the proper verbiage. Not he should have said antibiotics is what he should have said, not a disinfectant. Unless of course he was talking about a disinfectant, but either way, he never worded it as bleach or injecting bleach into your blood. And then first off, if people literally, like Biden said this, I think in the debate that people were trying to do this, he never. Oh my God, if someone legitimately thought that drinking bleach would kill a virus, again, they should not be watching TV. Please. Again, Stephen, I'm going to agree with that. I agree. Donald Trump is not a politician, 100%. 100%. There might be some type of I'm not aware. Like I mean I'm not Donald Trump, but I'm not aware of a light therapy for virus. That may be a thing. It sounds realistic. I don't see how it couldn't be a thing. I mean, it may be. I don't know. You may have to find it in your local news archive. The first statement in the COVID press conference, he said bleach. Okay, hold on a second. When did Trump say bleach? COVID press. Fact check. Nope, that's the same one. No, all I'm seeing is injecting disinfectants. Well, here's a left-leaning website. I don't know where the hell the rest of the article is, but remarks by President Trump, injection bleach. I don't see anything about digesting. White House says media took Trump's remarks on coronavirus and flipped them. Oh, here we go. I think I found it. It's not fake news. Trump did actually suggest that injecting bleach could be a cure, but they linked the same video. Oh, here we go. So this is one where they're confirming it, saying that it's not fake news. So look, I'm going to go on the other side real quick. I'm going to go on the left side of the aisle. And then we're going to scroll down to this little number right here about Lysol, British manufacturer. Did the president recommend that Americans inject themselves with bleach as a COVID-19 cure or a prophylactic? Strictly speaking, no. That's it. The rest of this does not matter. The rest of this does not matter. I'll leave it highlighted, though, so you can read it. Right, go back to the disinfectants. So, no. And this is one that's confirming that it's not fake news. Bullshit. Bullshit. He didn't say inject bleach. Yeah, he was talking to doctors. Right, John. That's what I'm saying. I think he should have just gave him the mic. He should have just gave them the microphone, to be honest with you. Like, don't talk about this. He said it's worth investigating if we could inject ourselves. Yeah, I can't even. The only thing I pulled up, Richie, from him saying the word bleach was at a rally of him making a joke about Biden saying inject bleach after the debate. Because Biden said in the debate, oh, you said inject bleach. And he said, I never said that. And he didn't. He never said inject bleach. Or digest it like Philip said. He's never said those words. It's fine, Biscuit. It's fine, brother. It's fine. You just the media's got you baffled. Uh, Again, the comment about injecting a disinfectant is a stupid fucking comment. But he was talking to and I'm not trying to say it's okay. He was talking to doctors because clearly he doesn't know. Yeah, he said right. It's a misnomer, right? He said disinfectant, but again, it was something he was asking the doctors about doing, not telling people to do it. A little bit of a, I, I guess I could kind of see how people mix that up. That's not quite it though. Let's take a look at those lovely numbers. And they haven't moved at all again. Nope. Yeah, you're not gonna see the final results till tomorrow sometime. Unless Georgia manages to find that other 1% they've been sitting on for the past fucking day. It does, Sandro. It does. Retro wants to move on, but Sandro makes a good point. But it shows the greater issue at hand. People don't listen and only absorb the information they want to absorb. It's like you ever seen that video where you hear Green Needle? It's like a cute chick, and she's like, there's two different words, and when they play the clip, you hear one thing when you look at that, but when you look at the other word, you hear that word. It's the same shit. There are cures for it. Look at Trump, right? He was cured. Obviously, he got things that the general public wouldn't have, but there's a cure for it. Yeah, it's like it's the green needle thing. Hold on. Let me pull it up so you guys don't think I'm talking out of my ass. Here you go. Ready? Well, this is a dude, but it works. Again. Yeah, that's just fucking weird. I don't know. You see one thing and you hear another. I don't even know. Well, yeah, Jason, that's why I said when people come in here, like Biscuit was like, oh, is Biden so much better than Trump? I just ask them why. And they don't usually have an answer. They just say he is. Good. Hmm. All right. Well, that was a good stream. A little political. It is what it is. Yeah. I'm going to dip out. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully, it was a good stream. Let me check the numbers one more time. Nothing, 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 and nothing. If there is any kind of big update where 2 states are won, well, then I'll come back, but I doubt that there will be today. You guys be good, stay beautiful, and keep it real.